Good evening and welcome to tonight's Sunday Night League race. Here today we are at Sarthe de la Sarthe, better known to yourself and I as Le Mans, home to the 24-hour endurance race. But today we are here for the Porsche Cup series, part of our Sunday Night League. So for you new racers this evening, the two new races we have are Sarthe and Oish Oish. Hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly. We shall see a few of our repeat drivers in today though, and we're on round 11. Things are heating up in the championship tables, and we've only got 2 races left, including this one. So only 5 laps this evening around Le Mans. And we'll see whether any of the drivers do feel the need to pit. Be intrigued to see what levels of tyre damage we actually do get. We've had a few drivers in the past couple of races that haven't felt the need to change tyres at all, and they managed to do the entire race on the one set. So I suspect this could be a no-stop race, given that it's only 5 laps. Now at the moment, just as we lead up to the beginning of qualifying, we'll have a run through of the championship standings after 10 rounds. So going into these last 2 races, top of our championship we have Rob on the drums at the moment in first with 183 points. Although behind them is Digital Blasphemy in second with 171 and GT Racer in third with 168. So even after 10 rounds, still quite competitive between those 3 drivers. Oh, Oish going for a little bit of a trip through the gravel there. I'll look on board with Sarthe. So yeah, as I was saying, just the top 3 drivers of the championship, not too much between them. There might be enough of a points difference for a bit of a swing around in these last 2 races. It really depends how it all plays out, and we'll find out very shortly, I am sure. In fourth, we do have OKC Ranger with 142 points, so looks like 4th place could very much well be theirs, given that 5th is held by MFC Doors with 97 points, so quite the margin between the 2 drivers there at the moment. In 6th, we have Mika with our 92 points, so only 5 points behind MFC Doors in 5th. Could be still all to play for between those 2 drivers all the way up into our finale next Sunday. We'll keep an eye out for those as we progress through the rest of the leaderboard. We've got 7th is Rd11. I've just been informed that Mika has a special livery for this evening. Let's have a little look-see. Very nice there. Some lush golf colours. Look at that. What a beauty. So going back to the championship, we have Rd11 in 7th with 77 points. Yokas in 8th with 72. Jekko with 68 in 9th. 10th is Mika showing off all the livery from all the angles there. I'm sure she did that deliberately. And Jekko in 9th at the moment with 68 points, so we're saying. 10th is Zan Speed with 60. Gatulu in 11th with 54. Daz in 12th with 47. Timmy DJE with 31 points takes up 13th place. Sarthe with 14th place with 27 points. Ragnar in 15th with 25. I'm Stupid in 16th with 21. Flashman has 17 points in 17th. Alexis Maximus has 16 points for 18th. And Lays One Star in 19th with 10 points. These are the dropped after the scores have been dropped, I believe. Like with our both race cups we have in the Sunday Night League, we're operating a dropped scoring system where your 2 worst races, the points for those are dropped. That makes it a little bit fairer, just in case some people aren't able to make a race here or there, or do particularly bad in one, have a little bad luck, who knows, it does happen to the best of us. We'll also see, so I believe we are about 3 minutes out, although a lot of the drivers could be starting qualifying early actually. A bit late on the replay there. Hey, there we go, look at that. The stewards have commenced the countdown for qualifying. So once again, hello and welcome to tonight's Sunday Night League Cup Round 11, the penultimate race of this here championship, where we are live at Sarthe de la Sarthe. That's a number of the drivers already out. OKC Ranger and GT Racer are first out the pits, off into clean air. We've got OKC Ranger starting on the soft, GT Racer also on the soft, Oish on the supers, Mika on the soft, and MFC Doors on the supers. We'll see how that one plays out at the moment. I suspect a number of drivers probably want to opt for those supers at the soft. It's quite a long track, approximately, let me check my thing, it's about 8.47 miles. Could be seeing a bit of degradation from those supers, noticeable enough even by the time you get to the end of the first lap. And that's not what you want on the outlap if you've already degraded your tyres enough. So we'll just keep on board at the moment with Oish. She's on the supers. Coming up to the first chicane. Could be just getting a little bit of the back end out there. They were in the middle of the track, interestingly, trying to navigate through that corner there. Did get a blue flag, I think, flashed up already, rather interestingly. But we'll see how much which of the drivers will prefer for the supers. I suspect coming into the race, drivers will probably want to opt for maybe the soft or the medium, just for the sheer amount of miles they've got to cover going into this race. Although only 5 laps, as I mentioned, that's quite a few miles. Very nice corner line through there, making good use of those curves from Oish. Sarthe has made it out of the pits now, out into fresh air. The rest of the drivers are all bunched up, just as you can see there. Perhaps maybe trying to get a bit of slipstream, but this is the outlap, so probably won't see any daring do's and overtakes. Just as a reminder, the drivers are not allowed to overtake. Oh, Oish, looks like they've just gone off there. Drivers are not allowed to overtake during qualifying at risk of receiving a penalty. We have had a couple of drivers over the course of this series that have received a penalty for doing such things. I believe that you can overtake if said driver has gone off the track, or if said driver in front does obviously allow you to pass by them. Now, the first one to come across the line will be GT Racer, unless they back off a little. Got a bit of sideways there from Oish just in the background. Really lighten up those rears. Some great camera angles we've got here today. Now, going back to the championship title. So we've both got, as I mentioned, we need to keep an eye on Rob on the drums, Digital Plus Me and GT Racer, just to see how this plays out going into the last race. It could come down to the wire, as I suspect, and the other 2 drivers to keep an eye out for are MFC Doors and Mika, although it is very tight between them. Only 5 points, if I can count. I can count. 5 points between the 2 of them. Could be in for a good show. I say OKC Ranger seems to be sitting in 4th at the moment in the Drivers' Championship. I'm not too sure whether they can catch, because GT Racer is 168. I'm not sure if it's close enough to be able to catch them and overtake them in the championship. And then MOC Doors is 97 points, so quite a fair ways behind. So no risk to OKC Ranger losing 4th place there. And here we go, drivers are already on their first flying lap. Might take a little while for them to actually get back round to the start finish, so let's just stay on board at the moment with GT Racer as they go through the first sector. Oh, taking a lot of grass. That corner can catch a few drivers out, and unfortunately it's very key that build up, that corner there. If you get a nice exit there, sets you nicely up for the next corner, which then leads you onto this here straight. So if you lose a lot of speed by going onto the grass, just as GT Racer there did, you end up losing out on the subsequent corners, and actually could lose a bit of speed going down the straight here, which is really not what you want. You want as much speed, getting up to speed as quickly as possible, making full use of the curbs there. Very nicely done. Oh, just got the back end out there. Did manage to correct it though. I think a little bit too early on the power. Just going through that corner. Let's take a little look-see. Quite tame through the first chicane there. Both big and MFC doors. Now let's see how OKC Ranger navigates this. Very nice, hugging those curbs there. Very nicely through that one. Let's have a look on Rob on the drums now. Expertly done there. No hesitation at all. Digital Blasphemy coming up to the first chicane. You just see the drivers off in the distance there already. Sarthe is right back in the first sector. So the second sector ends just after they navigate through the chicane here. You want to be as far left as possible. Let's go for a nice inside cockpit view. Coming up to the second chicane. Now you want to keep as far right as possible, but the further right you go, it does get particularly bumpy, which is never quite good when you're traveling at speed. We're currently doing about 160 odd miles an hour here. We've got the Formula Extra cars later on, which will probably be hitting about 200, 210 maybe. Just holding on there, you can really hear those tyres squealing as they struggle for grip, but manages to get through. Very nicely done, and already on the way out. Not a lot of time left for these drivers on the old qualifying. If we just look there, got 2.5 minutes left for qualifying. Will it be enough for them to squeeze another lap in? I do not think so. Already 3 minutes 20 could be enough, actually. Could be enough for GT Racer to get through, but Sarthe might just be a little bit too far away from the start finish to just nip over there before that countdown finishes. We'll only wait and see. Now it would be key to see what tyres everybody starts on. As I predicted, I'm thinking that we may just see the no-stop race where all of the drivers decide that it's just not enough laps to warrant pitting. Now, first one across the line, set a 4:05.2 from GT Racer. Let's have a look. Oh, that's beaten by Oish with a 4:03. Let's see if Mika can do better. No, that does do a 4:06 though. Only 3 seconds off pace. Very nicely done there. MFC Doors, ooh, up into second with a 4:03.8. Very nicely done there. OKC Ranger comes across with a 4:03.3, taking that fastest lap at the moment. So they currently have provisional pole. Rob on the drums now coming across the line. Have they gone a little bit quicker? Ooh, comes in 4th at the moment, but still enough time. About 55 seconds left. Now, Digital Blasphemy has already said we're just waiting on Sarthe at the moment. Oh, is there enough time? 45 seconds. Do they have enough time to just nip over that start-finish to start their second flying lap? Now that they've got these supers all nice and warmed up after a whole 2 laps of getting that then that outlag. But at the moment, so OKC Ranger into the pits somehow. Probably exited that one. I doubt they've gone the whole way around the track and back again. Ooh, okay, 15 seconds I think. I think Sarthe might just be able to get over it as they come into the final chicane just before the start finish. Could be a bit touch and go. They might have it. Ooh, 2 seconds, 1 second. I think they've just missed out, but they do set 4:01.6, taking that fastest lap. Do they even need to go again? No, they absolutely smashed it. It was a whole 2 seconds off. Very well done there from Sarthe. So at the moment, the provisional pole goes to Sarthe with that blinding 4:01.6. OKC Ranger is in second. I don't remember what time they had. Oish is in third with a 4:03.4. MFC Doors with a 4:03.8. So those two can be very tightly matched in the race coming ahead. So Rob on the drums with a 4:04.6 goes a little... Nope, that was the correct racing line. I was getting mixed up in that one there. Let's try not to do that during the race. 4:05.2 was set by GT Racer. Very well done there. Digital Blasphemy 4:06.8. Now, we did have 8 drivers, but one of them seems to have dropped out. I think Mika has disappeared from the grid. Not sure. She's still on the track with a 4:06.8. I'm not sure why she's not appearing on the board on the left. But no stranger to gremlins, sadly. Let's go on with... Ooh. So I can't seem to actually see Oish for some reason. My number 3 button isn't working. Can't see him at all. That'd be cute. We'll see how it goes. Now, MFC Doors, Rob on the drums, GT Racer, and Digital Blasphemy all still out on flying laps. Digital Blasphemy just setting a best sector right there. Now, if we go back to MFC Doors, so they come into the last sector. Cutting a little bit of grass there, that's perfectly allowed. Although word from the stewards is that they will be paying quite close attention through the chicane at turn 2, Tessa Rouge at turn 4, and the Ford chicane, which is turn 20 and 21. So drivers will be wanting to make sure that they are not taking too many liberties through those corners. The stewards will be paying close attention. Hey, that's the word I was looking for there. Now, Mika in front of MFC Doors there. Has that prevented MFC Doors? Sets a 4:04, not as good as their previous one. They stay in 5th. GT Racer did bump up there though, with a 4:03.5. Did go better, saved a whole 1.7 seconds there. Oish. OKC Ranger. I think setting a best lap there, although it did seem to come off shortly afterwards, it seems. Either celebrating or just really burning through those rubbers with that. Fantastic. Thing to bear in mind though with the qualifying and the going to the grid order is the top 3 drivers. So that means Rob on the drums there, who managed to go faster than Sarthe, who I thought set a blinding lap. But look at that, 4:09. Shaved a whole 0.6 seconds off. What absolute lap time that was there. So the top 3 drivers, that being Rob on the drums, Sarthe and Digital Blasphemy, will now start from the rear of the grid. They'll be awarded 5, 4 and 3 points respectively. But Rob on the drums will start last. Sarthe will start in 7th. And Digital Blasphemy will start 6th, meaning the pole, or the front of the grid, will be held by OKC Ranger. Along them on the front row will be Oish, and then the second row will be made up by GT Racer and MFC Doors. And hopefully my table on the left will acknowledge that Mika is in this race. Keyboard says she is, but table says no. Looks like we're gonna reset the lobby with that one. Hopefully that will resolve some of our technical difficulties. Might give it time for OKC Ranger to repair that front bumper. I can't imagine that's doing any wonders to their to their bodywork. Number 99 though. So do bear with us. I believe we are resetting the lobby, and of course, even if we weren't, this is the false start. So drivers will have to leave the race, as then the grid will be rejiggled as mentioned, and Rob on the drum, Sarthe and Digital Blasphemy will be at the back of the grid. So we need drivers to leave the race as soon as they possibly can. I'm sure they're going to leave any moment. They'll get the hint. Who knows? Before we have to start naming names. We're going to go for a lobby reset, so we will do that in the meantime. Now the red flag rule, another word from the stewards on that one. Due to the length of the lap, the red flags can only be called before the end of the second sector. So after the Mulsanne chicane, after that, drivers cannot request a red flag. Typically only requesting a red flag if there is some sort of collision between a number of drivers, or if a multitude of drivers are having some technical difficulties at the very beginning of the grid. It's been known to happen in the past. Hopefully it doesn't happen today. And we should get on with tonight's race. We're already a little bit behind schedule. We should have started the race about 7 minutes ago. But do bear with us, as you have always done this season. We thank you very kindly for your patience. Now the tyres obviously available to drivers this evening are the Supers, Softs, Mediums and Hards, all of which are the racing variant of those tyres. Typically drivers would, when they are pitting, cannot go back onto a tyre compound they've already used before. But with such a short race, only 5 pit stops, and a pit stop probably taking a good 30 seconds, drivers may find that it's better to go with a less grippier tyre compound, such as the soft or the medium, and make that sacrifice in order that they can actually have that longevity and with that tyre life, see if they can go much wider, much further on the tyre, but lose out on the fastest laps. But we'll see. I am always willing to be surprised. I'm sure there will be one of our drivers who will insist on using these supers for the whole race, and we'll have minimal tyre degradation the whole way through it. So that should be fun to watch. Just waiting for the lobby to reopen, assuming that it has reopened. If it is not, then it could be myself that's having the technical difficulties. Let's come out of here and rejoin the lobby. Or rather reconnect to the server, see if that works. No, it's still missing. Our next and final race will be held at the Suzuka racetrack in very sunny Japan. Looking to have good weather for that one. We will soon see. Hey, there we go. Lobby back open. Now we should jump straight back into the racing. As soon as all the drivers have rejoined the lobby. Drivers have been reminded that the end of qualifying, although a little bit late, to not go into the pits at the end of the session, as it does make things a little bit difficult for the stewards to rejig the grid. Not that that mattered too much. Yep. 10 in the thing, so 8 drivers, a couple of spectators. Some of our drivers here getting a little bit of cheeky practice in, because why not? That'll be number 42 and 41 of Rob on the drums and Oish Oish. Quite liking the livery of Oish Oish. Particularly that rear window. Ooh. Don't see the strategy in taking a little bit of grass through there. Some drivers will try and pick up a bit of rubber, but a bit of grass? I've not heard of that one. Could be onto something new. Who knows? Probably not. Do you want to be drivers? Do you want to be aware of trying their best not to go off, as with the new update, as mentioned in some previous races, with the new update on GT Sport, the let's say slickness caused by going off onto the grass does seem to last longer on the tyres. There's a good few miles or so that you actually have to drive these tyres round before they go back to being their grippy selves. So the grass seems to stick a little bit longer on them than had previously before. Just seem to be waiting for Pat at the moment. And then we'll be underway. A few of the drivers still in the pits. I'm sure they're more than welcome to go and have a little practice sesh, same as Digital Blasphemy, Rob on the drums and Oish Oish are doing at the moment. Now, could this be a little sneak peek into what tyres the drivers are going to start with? We've got Digital Blasphemy there with a super, Rob on the drums with a soft, and Oish Oish also with the soft. Although their tyres are not going to last particularly long, lighting them up like that. I suspect they're just trying to get back onto the track. So we do have another driver, Pat, who will be joining at the back of the grid, as they did miss qualifying. Oish Oish taking not the racing line through there. The R on the gear stick does not stand for race, that stands for reverse. There's quite a few drivers that have just seemed to park their cars here, there and everywhere. Now just waiting for any word from the driver, from the stewards. Just wait to see whether all the drivers are raring and ready to go. Can't seem to see Pat. Ah, there we go. Pat's down in 9th. Yeah. Ooh. Let's have a look at that little livery there. That's a very nice Red Bull livery. Can I get any view shots? No, unfortunately they're in the pits, so we'll have to wait until the race to have a look at that livery, get a good look at it. And without further ado, Welcome to tonight's Sunday Night League Porsche Cup Series race. Here we are, round 11 at Circuit de la Sarthe, Le Mans to you and I. Starting at the front of the grid is OKC Ranger and Oish Oish. Second win is GT Race and MFC Doors, with Mika and Digital Blast making up the third row. We'll see how our drivers fare going into the first corner. We'll see if Oish Oish can get it on the inside. Wait for the lights to go out. Drivers are ready, and away we go. So quite a bit of wheel spin from Oish Oish there. I think they've probably lost maybe a little bit, although they don't seem to actually lost a lot. Actually, they are making it first through the corner. First in the first corner and first in the second corner, going through the rest, looking down the rest of the grid order. OKC Ranger drops into second with I think we had GT Racer just going off into the distance there. Just having to cut that corner, I think, has given that position back, so they've dropped back down to sixth. Do we have a little bit of a bumping there between GT Racer and Pats? Lovely livery from Pats there, we'll finally be able to see it. Now leading back onto the main straight as we go down. Oish Oish, first one onto the straight. Now there'll probably be a number of drivers. MFC Doors there, just running a little bit wide. See, a number of the drivers probably want to get that slipstream, and this is where they're all bunched up, and they'll be key trying to get that, wanting to make sure that they're the ones that, at the end of the straight up both chicanes, that are benefiting from that, overtaking as much as possible. So going on to, or coming up rather, to the first chicane, we've got Oish Oish, OKC Ranger, MFC Doors, although it looked like there was a bit of an overtake going on. Just not too far back there, MFC Doors, unfortunately, to make a move on OKC Ranger. Do they get enough speed coming out that corner though? Oof, just that back end slips out on them as they hit the curb, but they are all over the back of OKC Ranger. Very nicely there. Oish Oish staying out in first. Let's have a look on board with... Oh, look at that. If I could... no? Hey, let's look at that. Oh, MFC Doors up into second position. What a lovely overtake they had there. Can we go back and have a look at that one? Yes, we can. So great slipstream here from MFC Doors. Does lunge out quite wide. Oh, bit of a bump there as they're passing OKC Ranger, who does slip back in behind MFC Doors. Now Sarthe up into second. Where did this come from? So Sarthe down in fourth, coming through the second chicane there, was a bit of a yellow flag, I think. Oh, looks like MFC Doors got a bit of a bit of an issue there. Not as much speed coming out of that corner, so they've lost out, and so has, I believe they were racing with Digital Blasphemy. So that does, MFC Doors does mean, I'm forgetting who's who now. Does mean now Sarthe up into second place, having started down in eighth or ninth, I believe, following the introduction of Pat. But can they hold on to it? Oh, what a line going through there. They just managed to hold on to that one, but they're not out of the woods yet. Oh no, Mika's had a bit of a spin, unfortunately. What's going on there? So riding on the coattails of MFC Doors, who is just all over the back of Sarthe. Nice through that corner, I think. Runs out a little bit wide, tries to catch it, gets a little bit too wide there. No, loses the rear end, unfortunately. Oh, what a shame for Mika, who drops down into ninth position. Now back to the front. Oish Oish got a bit of a lead, only 3.5 seconds there. Softs are looking okay after just 3/4 of a lap, let's call that. Sarthe also on the softs there. MFC Doors. Now everyone's starting to even out a little bit more there. So far, everyone on the soft tyre compound. There we go. Digital Blasphemy on the supers. Although we've got 4 of them all vying for Digital Blasphemy's 5th position there. This could get quite interesting now. The question is, do they try and wait for an opportunity as we go through these very tight chicanes coming up to the start finish? Not sure if they're gonna. Will we see a bold move from Rob the Drums there? Go for a lunge? No, not quite. Nobody going in for the lunge. We do have the straight coming up, which could be easy pickings. Everyone playing very nicely at the moment there. Just watching Rob the Drums, GT Racer, and OKC Ranger. all doing very well, forming an orderly queue. Ois setting the fastest lap on lap 1 of 4:07.4. That's 7 seconds off the qualifying pace. Ooh, bit of a bump from Rob on the drums there. I think they weren't expecting Digital Blasphemy to brake quite as much as they did. They have allowed them to take that position back, although neither driver really lost out there. Although I do believe Rob and Drums probably lost out a little bit as they now opened that gap up between themselves and Digital Blasphemy. Now almost a second, 0.9. Which could be a bit too far away. Oh, bit of a daring move. No! Oh no, OKC Ranger. I think they tried to go for the outside line. Let's just have a little replay there. Goes for the outside line, I believe. Sees Rob on the drums going a bit slower. Gets quite a bit more speed through that corner. Just goes to avoid, I think, the back end of Rob on the drums. Touches that grass and sends them spinning right round, unfortunately. Now go back up to Rob on the drums. Did that cause Digital Blasphemy still in 5th? Rob on the drums, yeah, just a little bit too far back after just nudging the back of Digital Blasphemy. I think it's moved out not a bit too far away really to be getting any advantage from that slipstream. OK GT Ranger, Racer in 7th. OK Ranger down into 8th. They got Mika right on their coattails. Only 0.6, they could be within attacking range as we go down here, which is slipstream central. 0.4, 0.3. Can they whip round just before the next chicane? Any luck here? Go for a bit of a lunge. Ooh, did well to not go into the rear end of OKC Ranger. We'll see whether they come there. So, lap 2, Ois up in first position still, leading from turn 1. Salek coming from the back up into second place. They've got that gap down to 2.3 seconds. Ois did have a 3.5 second lead at one point during this race, but Salek has eaten that up considerably. MFC Doors sitting in third position with Pat 96 now making their way up into 4th, but bit of a gap between them and third position. It's quite a large gap, 8.7 seconds, quite a bit of distance here at Le Mans, but they've got only 4.2 seconds between them and Digital Blasphemy, who still is in 5th, holding off Rob on the drums, just trailing there, and in the distance GT Racer, so not out of the frying pan just yet. As they go through the scene of the crime where we just saw Mika come off last race, Mika having managed to get past OKC Ranger. Let's see how they managed to do that move. So I think coming out of that second chicane, they probably clearly got the slipstream, used it to their advantage, but OKC Ranger making the work for it there. Now we have Mika going off here last, doesn't make the same mistake twice. Very nicely done, covers the inside line. He sets a purple sector there as well. Must have gotten a great slipstream off of OKC Ranger. Gap to first and second, now 1.7 seconds. Hey, that was me saying that nobody would go into the pits. Ois into the pits already. Did Salek stay out? Looks like Salek stayed out. Ois in for... not sure. The soft... the fuel. They've just did blow that half a tank of fuel. Now, is this enough... of an opportunity for Salek to really lay some rubber down? They certainly set some of the fastest laps going in the qualifying. I think they qualified second on this one. So there's enough of an opportunity. It's a 4:08 there. That is just blinding. Got quite a bit of fresh air ahead of them, quite a bit of a gap behind, a whole 9 seconds. Then keep their head down, keep focused. They could get enough of a gap. They could slip in a pit and come out ahead. Now, that pit probably has sent Ois right to the back there yet, but they are on a fresh set of softs and they've got enough fuel on board to see them to the end. Could this be the undercut which will see them get past Salek, or can Salek get enough distance between them that they can afford for that pit and not miss out too much? Now, We're already over halfway through our race. MFC Doors, just see Sarthe off in the distance there, in second position with 7 seconds to third place, which is held by Pat at the moment, though only 2.5 to Digital Blasphemy, and then 2 seconds to Rob on the drums. Very close between third, fourth, fifth here. Sixth, we've got GT Racer sitting out in a bit of fresh air. That should be doing them quite a world of wonders. Setting a full 13 on their last lap. Ooh, got OKC Ranger, goes deep there to get past Mika. Not sure if that was a bit too deep. They probably lost out a bit of speed there, but it does mean that Mika is now coming down the straight here, is able to probably use that slipstream to her advantage, and then sitting right behind them is Oish on a fresh set of tyres. Do we see a little lunge here coming into the chicane? Certainly looking for it, going for that lunge. Oh, it gets the apex. Can they make it stick? Oh, that's wonderful there. No, just gets the back end there. Manages to correct it though. Probably lost a little bit of speed. And we've got OKC Ranger right alongside. And then in the distance, we've got Oish who's just managed to get past OKC Ranger, blocking them off. Now we've got 3 abreast coming into the very bottom of the circuit here. I've completely forgotten what corner we are here. Oh wow, look at the pace Oish had there. Just managed to go past, goes a bit deep there unfortunately, misses out. I think that might have confused Mika a bit there. Probably was expecting that to be a very clean overtake. I think quite messy there from Oish. Does hold on to 8th position though. She's not so much fighting Oish at the moment. They were a lot higher up in the grid. Probably knowing that Mika's gonna have to pit at some point. Same as OKC Ranger. We'll have a look, see whether those 2 drivers pit on this lap now as they come up to it. Now, has Sarthe decided they're going to go into the pits or not? Mika doing very well there too. Oh no, OKC Ranger going off into the gravel. I was going to say Mika did very well to defend there. Oh, that was a bit of a bump I think there from OKC Ranger, and they knew exactly. Yeah, they clearly aware of the bump there. I think they tried their best to try and control that, but going off from the gravel, once you just end up being a passenger at that point. Not a great deal you can try and do to navigate the car through that, but did get the position back, so nobody's lost out there, which is great. Oish now speeding off into the distance, however. Let's take a little look at Sarthe, who, yes, is into the pits now. 16 seconds between them and second place. MFC Doors also into the pits. We'll have a look at Digital Blasphemy. Will they? No. Digital Blasphemy, number 69, stays out, as does Pat's. GT Racer as well. Rob on the drums also stays out. So Sarthe and MFC Doors into the pits for a fresh set of tyres. And probably a little splash and dash. Now we've seen a number of these drivers in the past try and do no stops even. It wouldn't surprise me if they're trying to do the same here. Will this pay off going that long distance? I am stunned at how well Digital Blasphemy's super softs are actually. There is barely any degradation on those things at all, particularly when you compare them to some of the degradation that you've got Pats there on the softs, which are the slightly more just going a little bit wide there. Whether the stewards are going to have a little bit of a look-see into that one, who knows? You could get an advantage going down the straight by going out wide. But Rob on the drums making full use of the slipstream there. Very clean overtake. Now Sarthe already up into 4th position. You can just see them in the foreground there with Pat's 96. Not too far away then. Now where did Oish come out? Oish coming out in up in 6th now. So didn't quite work with that undercut unfortunately, but there's only 8 seconds between them, and Oish is on a roll, setting a purple sector there. So they are properly putting that foot down, pedal to the metal and everything, as they head down the back straight. I am sure There is a name for this. I'll work it out by the time we get to the Formula X race, which starts at 8:30, should all things go according to plan. And that is later this evening, which I'm sure you'll tune in for. Digital Blasphemy, lap 4 of 5, out in front at the moment. Rob on the drums in second. Now do bear in mind that Rob on the drums at the moment is currently in the lead with 183 points, whereas Digital Blasphemy is in second with 170. Oh no, Rob on the drums just gets the back end out, unfortunately there. Loses probably a bit of time there. Pat's 96 doing very well to avoid hitting the back of Rob on the drums after that spin. Quite impressed, very well done there, avoiding that accident. But Rob on the drums already picking up speed and heading off. Now, as I was saying, Rob on the drums currently in first with 183 points. Digital Blasphemy with 171 points. Could we see a bit of a switcheroo at the end of this race? It is maybe more than likely. Oh, Pat's 96 going off into the distance there. That's not so great for them as Sarthe takes third position and is now 2.1 seconds away from Rob on the drums. Still on their outlet on these fresh set of tyres, already down to 1.9. Now Rob on the drums and Digital Blasphemy both having not pitted yet for any tyres, so are on an older set of tyres. Although if you compare, just looking at the softs that Sarthe's got and the degradation particularly, and compare that to Rob on the drums, who hasn't actually pitted yet, and they've got the same amount of degradation, just shows the difference in these drivers' driving styles. There you go, that's the phrase I was looking for. Very aggressive on the tyres is Sarthe. Rob on the drums a little bit kinder. Now, will that pay off though in Sarthe's favour, as they're already 0.8 of a second behind? I think it could be a bit of an easy overtake as we go into our final lap now. Digital Blasphemy leading the grid, but Rob on the drums with Sarthe hot on their tails. Can Sarthe get to first? There's not a lot of distance. They've already made up quite a significant amount of room. Let's go on board here. Here we go. So it's these corners coming up, so after you get past this little lefty here, if you want to hook this one up very nicely, try not to cut this too much. Already right on the bumper of Rob on the drums here. These are the ones that are saying that are very key to nail these corners so you got enough speed coming through here. Oh, Rob on the drums just getting a little bit wide to take you onto this back straight. If you lose a lot of speed on those first few corners trying to hook them up, you do lose out a bit here and getting up to that speed nice and quick. So full slipstream potential ahead of them. Sarthe, as Rob on the drums just comes ever so closer. A little wave as they go by, why not? What a clean overtake. Now, Digital Blasphemy right in their sight as we come up to the first chicane. Little break in there, nice kiss in the apex. Look at that, wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Now, even setting a purple sector through there. Currently, Sarthe does hold the fastest lap at the moment, a whole 4 minutes dead, a 0.8. But I think they are just a little bit too far behind Digital Blasphemy for really use any of that slipstream to their advantage. Could be after the end of this chicane here. Reckon a little bit later there. Oh! I think I've got a bit of an internet glitch there. I just wonder what happened with the cars as they got a bit of drift on there. So that's another purple sector, so clearly going much quicker to me up ahead. You can see they're just looting the inside on this next corner. I think we can try and keep at least 2 tyres over that white line, otherwise the stewards will be right onto them, but they are all over the back of Digital Blasphemy. Look at that, even another purple sector. I think we could see another fastest lap. Let's have a look, see if the replay can. No, it just seems that they drove straight through. Wow, I've not seen that overtake before, but I suspect that could be a little bit of a glitch there. It at least seemed to work. No No argument there. Another purple sector. I do think we could be onto another fastest lap here from Sarthe. Ooh, just mounting the curb a bit too much there, I think. Shaved off a little bit too much speed. I'm sure we'll see that in the next sector time. Let's come up to our penultimate sector. Fuel light flashing, no worries there. They don't need another lap left of fuel. 0.7 a second behind Digital Blasphemy. So thinking that this not pitting could have paid off. I'm not sure it would have worked too well with Digital Blasphemy and Rob on the drums. Clearly having that one pit strategy. Another purple sector, blimey. That one stop strategy did pay off in terms of getting up the leaderboard. Going for those softs. Oof. Just the interest there. Might be something on my end. We'll have to see. I hope that it can get us to the end. So Sarthe doing outliners these last few laps to get an overtake. Takes a lot of gravel with the pair of... Nope. That was clearly something on my end. Sarthe takes the win for this one. Doesn't set a fastest lap though, 4:01, not far off of it. Digital Blasphemy comes in second. Very well done there. Rob on the drums coming in third. Oish was leading right at the beginning there. Comes in fourth with Pats 96 in fifth. GT Racer in sixth. Will we see MFC Doors coming in seventh? Yes, we will. Did set their fastest lap was a 4:00.4. Not sure, it must have been an out lap, I think, maybe, as that didn't seem to count towards the fastest lap. OKC Ranger did manage to make it past Mika, coming home in 8th. And Mika just coming through the last few set of chicanes. Bringing home in 9th. Very well done there. So fastest lap going to, saying a best lap at the end there. Very nicely done. Fastest lap going to Sarthe, who set not only winning today's race, but also set the fastest lap. Very clean race from everyone there. We had a few bumps, but nothing that caused any issues or anybody to lose out. So let's go back over. Our winner today on top of the podium is Sarthe, also setting the fastest lap. Second on the podium is Digital Blasphemy. Taking third home today is Rob on the drums. I'll be keeping that championship alive, I am certain. Oish comes back in fourth. Pat's 96 in fifth. Sixth is GT Racer. Seventh is MFC Doors. OKC Ranger comes at home in eighth, with Mika in ninth. That was a great race for everybody. Nice, quick, short, sweet. That's what we like to see. We'll be back here same time. We'll be at Suzuka for the finale of our Porsche Cup Series. Thank you all very much. We'll see you later on this evening. Our Formula X race should start at 8:30. So we'll see you in half an hour. Thank you all very much and good evening.